Отошел. С кому-то подключился, отошел.
Pain is a real motivator. No time to lose. Put your backs into it. Aye. Pain is a real motivator. On the double. Let's see how long
The
you
darkness is
last.
attacking one of your structures.
Aye. On the double.
Какой, блядь?
No enemy is mine.
Видишь,
No pain in your own blood.
пиздец, он играет, блядь. Как он контролит, нахуй. Да ебануться, блядь.
Pain is a real motivator.
The
I
darkness is attacking one of your structures.
let's see how long you last. No enemy is my better. Put your backs into it. Aye. You are not worthy to call yourself a hero. No time to lose. Pain is a real motivator. No enemy is my better. Aye. Put your backs into it. Let's see how long you last. No time to lose. On the double. No enemy is my better. Put your backs into it. On the double. Pain is a real motivator. Oh, you are not worthy to call yourself a hero. Put your backs into it. No time to lose. No enemy is my better. Aye. Pain is a real motivator. No time to lose. You're not worthy to call yourself a hero.
Атакуем.
Put your backs into it. Pain is a real motivator. No time to lose. Pain is a real motivator. On the double. No enemy is my better. Pain is a real motivator. Put your backs into it. Let's see how long you last. On the double. Pain is a real motivator. No enemy is my better. No time to lose. On the double. Put your backs into it. No time to lose. Put your backs into it. Pain is a real motivator. No time to lose. On the double. Let's see how long you last. No time to lose. Put your backs into it! No enemy is my better! Put your backs into it! You'll bathe in your own blood! No time to lose! Invisibility! Pain is a real motivator. On the double! No enemy is my better! I will kill you with your own limb!
Darkness is attacking one of your structures.
Let's see how long you last! No time to lose! Pain is a real motivator.
No goodies for you.
I will kill you with your own limbs. No enemy is my better. Backhanded. Put your backs into it. No time to lose.
The darkness is attacking one of your structures.
Pain is a real motivator. Put your backs into it. Fire in the hole.
The darkness is attacking one of your structures.
Put your backs into it. Let's see how long you last. Pain is a real motivator. Put your backs into it! Fire in the hole! Aye! You'll bathe in your own blood! Pain is a real motivator. No time to lose! Put your backs into it!
Алло.
Time to lose!
Там Гондонио не заходил, а то он мне там писал, блядь.
Кто?
Антон. Алло.
Pain is a real
Алло.
motivator.
Сервис, блядь.
Нет. Ебать, ты за кем наблюдаешь? Что за дудонка такая? Это пизда, дядь.
Я хуй знаю.
Я в ахуе, что он делает? Что, блядь, он делает?
Что творит, бля?
Вообще сильный нахуй.
Откуда я знаю? Просто кто был в друзьях, это присоединился.
Блядь, мне
Все, я
пизда.
готов. Готов, Вова.
К чему?
А ты на стриме, что ли?
Полчаса у меня.
Я говорю, ты на стриме, что ли?
Да.
А, блядь. И что делаем?
Да хуй знает. Давай в карту поиграем.
Какие карты? Почем, что ли? Ну а что ты предлагаешь полчаса делать? Ну ПБГ не работает, блядь. Что еще делать?
Не знаю,
Ну-ка.
Мидас тоже не заходит.
Блядь, я хуй знает, ебать. Я-то могу найти всех, что поиграть. Titanfall 2. Катани в что-нибудь полчасика, а после можно покатать тогда. А?
Чё?
Я говорю, я сейчас Titanfall, если что, ебану.
Ебашь.
Ну хули ты же пока ничего не можешь, нахуй.
Я посмотрю. А как транслировать на другой канал? Ретрансляцию точно делать.
Набери в поисковике restream.io. restream.io. Все. Там выбираешь сервисы, которые тебе нужны, там штук 20 их, что ли.
Нет, ты не понял.
Что?
Вот я стримлю, к примеру, да?
Ну.
Сейчас зевну. Короче, вот ты стримишь, ушел курить, жрать, пить нахуй.
Ага.
И своих подписчиков перетащил на мой канал. Как это сделать?
Хост.
Хост?
Да, слэш, хост и никнейм.
Ясно.
А тут тоже поиск идет, все спят нахуй.
Надо поискать какую-нибудь мамашку игру.
Да он говорит, что катани в эту хуйню.
Какую? Блять, Невервинтер дальше, что ли, задрачивать, ну.
Что, мы будем играть, нет?
А, вот же вышла новая игра. Слышь?
Пока.
Kingdom Under Fire 2.
Да?
Интересно, на стриме есть такие игры?
Хуй знает, не, блядь. Ищет. Слышь, мать, блядь.
Бля, дядь, ее даже никто не стримит. Почему-то. Слышь?
Ага.
Скачать что ли, блядь?
А сколько она весит?
Сейчас гляну. 21 гиг.
Да хуйня, короче. Нормальная, блядь, будет. Ну, нормальная будет весить 60.
Нет, она запакована.
Ну хорошо, ну распакуется хуйня тоже будет.
Сейчас попробуем.
Стань одним из героев Персии и защити ее от нашествия демонов. Выбери
Бля, надо поиграть нахуй. Единственное нравится то, что она 4 гейм, короче.
А. А, 4 гейм, я понял, там. Я понял, про что ты говоришь, да. 4 гейм, там новая игрушка вышла, она типа ММО и стратегии, блядь.
Да-да-да.
Да. Ну там альфа-тест или какое-то такое.
Да и похуй. А чё нет-то, блядь?
Да. Ебать, народ то прибавляется, то убавляется. Где все-то, блядь?
Дядь, ты понимаешь, нет? Ее не стримит никто.
Будешь?
А?
Дай там это кетчуп с майонезом.
Чё? Со своей?
Нету. Да. В смысле, там еще и майонез должен быть. Такие штучки. О, да.
Блять,
Фу, противная,
шуршать,
блядь.
ебать, Лёх.
Это Катя ко мне пристала,
Чуть
блядь.
не охуел, блядь, шуршишь там, блядь.
Я целоваться лезу.
Ебать, я игру еще пиздец сколько, нахуй, блядь, ебаный хон, блядь.
Блядь, да?
А?
Я тоже вон сижу, сколько я уже сижу, жду, блядь, игру.
Ты качать
Блядь,
будешь,
Вова,
нет?
нахуй. Ёбаный в рот, да хуй знает.
Ну я качаю, я попробую.
А у меня под 3 метра она будет качаться, она же с русских серваков качает, а у меня до туда 120 пинг по 3 метра будет качаться, я её до вечера буду качать.
3 мегабита?
Ну да, с Москвы у меня 3 мегабита качает. У меня есть только с Европы, блядь.
Ну попробуй, что то.
Я тебе говорю, с Европы только качает.
У меня 6 показывает, блядь.
Ну вот, у тебя 6, у меня в 2 раза меньше. А что, блядь, не сегодня точно. Я вон этот БНС-ку качал под 3 метра, блядь, поставил и пошел, блядь. Кстати, зря в БНС-ку не ходишь, блядь, там нормальный такой ПВП, на самом деле очень адекватное.
Не,
Одно
блядь,
даже,
смотрел.
одно даже из самых лучших, я бы сказал, блядь. Все классы уравнены, блядь, и ты, то есть нет такого, что один класс другому дает пизды. Есть как бы антиклассы, но нет такого, что ты не можешь антиклассу дать, не дать пизды.
Разработчики потратили на эту игру, блядь, 80 миллионов баксов, блядь.
Ждем, очень надеемся, что это будет сделано. Разработчик прекрасно понимает, что это нужная вещь. Крайне нужная, особенно в игре, где нужно задействовать много.
Считаешь, разработчики
Но-
пизданули 80 миллионов баксов.
Что сделали?
Пиздили.
Ну, по-любому.
У инвесторов, блядь.
Бля, ну графика охуенная, я тебе так скажу. Всё,
Да?
ну, блядь. Нихуя.
Ты бы еще сказал, Вайон, пойдем поиграем.
Не. А он точно не пойду играть. Вот не вернись.
На самом деле, неплохая серия это была, ММОшка. Качай Fortnite, поехали в него.
Чё?
Качай, говорю, Fortnite, поехали в него.
Fortnite.
Типа этого, блядь, мультяшное, типа PUBG.
Фу, блядь, ты чё? Фу, я с тобой общаться не буду, нахуй, если ты скачаешь и будешь не играть.
Я тебе больше скажу, я ее скачал, сыграл, сказал, уебище. А не игра. Прицела нету. В этот крестик стреляешь, блядь, такое уебище, пиздец.
Короче, хуй знает. Сейчас, если она будет как линейка классик, ну там, то есть без начала надо купить ранний доступ, всякую хуйню прям. Если такая хуйня будет, я нахуй пошел, не буду мне играть. Потому что я пытался на официалку линейку пойти. Говорит, плати 600 рублей в месяц, играй. Типа Вовки, блядь.
В смысле, ты на нее можешь фри-то-плей играть, это просто если тебе больше там докачаться надо, ты платишь.
Где? Я линейку качал, нихуя, никаких фри-то-плей. Сразу плати, потом играй.
А, да?
Эту хуй знает. Сейчас вот докачается, блядь, глянь.
User was moved to your channel.
Чё за хуйня, блядь?
Да, Диман.
Здорово всем.
Здорово.
Смотри, Вова, какая графа. Вова. Ты видишь, нет, стрим?
Играл я в нее, говорю же, ну Лех, хорош. Почему мне, блядь, калишь-то, ёпта? Смотри, говорит, графа, блядь. Я ее сначала прошел, потом в онлайн зашел, и что-то неинтересно, нахуй.
Да заебись, Серёгчик. Молодец.
By the way, we saw Lou earlier on with ace deuce. Call one street and then fold.
Yep.
Make a decision.
Yeah.
That's possible too.
Ghost of M is in the chat. He's the best. He mods a bunch of chats for Twitch and is just generally a helpful person to the poker community.
Ace high still good, but this could be a very, very difficult time to get to the river with this one. Margerson has got the overcards, the gutter, and he's got the queen of diamonds. He's going to almost definitely, yeah, he's betting here and win it right here. Well, maybe not. Hold on. Again, Felicio started this hand as our chip leader. But really, at this point, it's anybody's tournament. Scott's going to bet 1.6 million into 2.5. That's a big bet.
Мега, блядь, перепрыгивающий.
And our Brazilian friend pushes his cards into the muck, and we continue on. So I mentioned the horse event. And that tournament started with over 700 players, and just as I was about to look at it, it decided to go away. Here we have it. 64 players remain out of 731. Scott Clements, top 10 stack. Ishmael Bojang, Brian Hastings, all still in the hunt. I have purposely not been giving you $10,000 heads up updates because that is live over on Poker Go. So if heads up action is your thing, you can head over there.
Is anybody multi-table watching? That's my favorite thing to do during WSOP.
Yeah, they're not multi-tabling anymore, but they could be multi-watching earlier on. I think they've wrapped it up. I think when Lon came in here earlier, there's probably him saying goodbye. I didn't know that either. Maybe it could have been his break. We don't know. I feel like Scott's in a very enviable spot in the sense that he's probably got the most aggressive player to his right, and he's got players that are a little bit less aggressive and more predictable on his left. Lou calls. Blinds, by the way, 250,000, 500,000 now. So while we haven't seen so much movement in chips, you'll see that everybody's stack is shallower relative to the blinds. 9 high flop.
Там еще сзади оставил.
Don't know what
Сзади, Лёх.
Margerson has. King 9 certainly a hand that
Лёх,
he could
сзади,
raise.
блядь, не убил.
Yeah.
Мишень.
Кого я не убил, блядь? Ты
They're
дурак.
anteing 50,000 right now. They're
Убил я
anteing
всё.
10 souls. Do you ever think about that? 10 starting stacks is in your ante. You just toss it out there.
Starting stack wasn't 50,000.
5K. I said they're putting 10 starting
Oh,
stacks.
10 of them. Yeah.
Listen, math is hard.
Sorry.
We'll go over
yeah,
it
no,
later.
I know. My bad. My bad. No, yeah, you're right. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yep.
The ante is 10 players. It's
It's
an
worth
entire
like
table.
$5,650 per ante. That's crazy. This tournament is ridiculous.
Ебать, тут замес покера, нахуй, пиздец.
It's always amazing when you start a tournament and you go, start with 5,000
Бля, мне
chips.
просто задержка, пиздец.
At some point, if I'm playing well, I will have everybody's chips on this table, that table, and that table.
It seems impossible, right?
Yeah.
That's why you play like one hand at a time and don't think about it. That like sometimes Negrani was putting like, I want to have 2.5 million at the end of day 3, and I'm like, what? Like how? Just play it one hand at a time.
This is really interesting, and I think it's even more interesting because we don't know what Margerson's other card is. I don't think he's 3-betting with King 9.
Could be King King.
What else could it be? Lou is check raised with Ace 5.
Which is odd.
Right, I mean, partly kind of, my hand's a little bit susceptible, certainly vulnerable. A little bit of a raise, like, let me find out where I'm at kind of thing. And he found out that he's behind. I mean, who knows? Oh, man, I really don't know what Margerson has.
I know. Show us your card.
I mean,
Oh, he put him back on the thing. What you got?
Oh, come on.
This crew is really good. Good job, guys. Not letting you get away with this. Kings. All
Okay.
right.
Still kind of a weird... I don't know if I like that 3-bet from him with kings when he had the king of clubs. Because you block flush draws. You block some flush draws. And if you have your opponent... if you have your friends watching the stream, which you saw earlier on Lou kind of check raise with, like, a showdown-y hand. A hand that had value, but,
Yeah.
he's, like, way ahead of that.
Yeah. I think I probably would have wanted to milk him for more chips. I think part of it is like a function of just wanting to be in the chip lead. Like just wanting to like, I want to win this pot right now and just like pressuring people without using all your chips, I guess. I mean, if you just let the hand continue, like you're really counting on him just bluffing through a hand, which would have been weird too, because like he picked a very odd hand to raise, the ace-5, where he has second pair and he has backdoor nut flush draw outs. So that's weird, and like, so if your opponent does weird things, it's really hard to range them at all. So like, maybe he's just thinking it's a risky move to like peel off a turn card. Like if you don't know what to be afraid of, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm in your boat. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
and in all fairness, like I said, I mean, clearly Scott's a great player and he knows what he's doing. It's more of just poker players thinking about, and I think, you'll talk to good poker players. I always get these questions of like, how did so-and-so, how did your guest get good? And generally it's asking questions and wondering. And I'm like, you look at that play, I would love to ask him.
User disconnected from your channel.
I would love to ask Scott just, what your thought process was in that particular spot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm going to take a look here at the bracelet winner, Paul Volpe. He's an absolute beast. Event number 9, the $10,000 08 or better. He wins the championship. $417,921 in his pocket. Not literally in his pocket. That's a lot of money.
It might be. We don't really know.
Yeah, he could have a big pocket. He defeated Elliot Lesra to win that. And
he's an East Coaster. I've known him for a long time. I've known him enough to pick him on my team. This kid's a beast, and he's been playing mixed games for like a really long time.
Yeah.
Is that his 3rd bracelet, I believe?
Felicio's going to raise up here. I think so. I know he won the 10K Deuce 7 No Limit, which is a great bracelet. I want to say this is 3rd. Because I know Ellie had won 3 and he was going for 4, and I believe he was a 2-time winner going for 3, so I think you are right. I'm going to go on that. Miles now with jacks. Yeah, going back to that hand, though, with the kings, I just think I don't think there's anything wrong with raising there. Just an interesting choice. And my guess is that Scott is not 3-betting kings on when your opponent check raises all the time.
Right. It might just be, yeah.
Sometimes he's flatting.
Yeah, that's something that like is really fun to say when you do something like really weird and maybe something that's a huge mistake. You just go, oh, it's a low frequency play.
Right. I do that. I just do that a little bit.
Just like 5% of the time. It was just that time, you guys.
Miles just moved all in here. Now, it looks like a giant shove, right, guys? 10 million chips. It's insane. Keep in mind, that's just 20 bigs. That's it. Just 20 bigs. Miles had done this with 3s. Miles did this with 5s. Now he does it with jacks. He also did it with 8s from the big blind.
Pairs forever. That was from Jen Shahadi, actually. She busted in a big spot for a lot of money, and she had really taken 4s and like 5-bet him in or something like that and ran into a higher pair. And she's like, I'll always love you, pairs.
I like Jen Shahadi.
She's great.
Great poker player, great chess player.
Yep.
Mom, another one of those new poker moms.
Her kid is so cute. Fabi.
Jamie Kerstetter alongside me here for the 2018 World Series of Poker. Felicio looks pained. Pretty easy fold, I'd imagine, but hey. I can see the cards. Nasu11 says, I have no idea what's going on, but this seems intense. It is intense, so welcome to poker. First place gets $1 million. Second place is $500,000. And just to keep this in perspective, these players spent $565 to get here. So, intense is definitely the right word. I want to thank all you guys for joining us in the chat room. John Rice, 2012. Stop Spamming Caps. Nico, Garump, Zenki, Marganoff, Norweezy, Super Nightmare, Polycarpo, even you, Utah Cuttiger. I see you. I hear you. It's okay. I love you. Hazardous says, I love poker but don't understand it at all. In all fairness, and I know I see the emoji. It's cool. I think most of the people that play poker don't really understand it.
I was going to say, the first step is admitting you don't understand it. You know, that's better than most people who are like, I'm good at this.
That's what's great about poker. You know, it's a really easy game to learn. And there's enough luck in the game that you can fool yourself into thinking you know what you're doing.
True. It's kept me around for 10 years.
Fish on a heater. Way Too Frosty says, I can't believe I didn't know this was on Twitch. Not only is it on Twitch today, dude, we're here all summer. We're going to be streaming the World Series of Poker, the biggest poker tournament in the entire world, all summer here on Twitch for free. The Human Blob says they all look so unhappy. You should have seen Lou earlier on. Lou was dancing. So he's shown his happy face. He lost some chips. Obviously, he's a little bit upset. But you got to realize, these guys are playing for an enormous amount of money. They're all guaranteed $166,000. Third place is $300,000. First is $1 million. So you can imagine that these guys are... And they've also been at it for like 12 hours every day for the last 5 days.
Definitely wears on you. Also, when you're this excited, it's very hard to sleep the night before, and I feel like that just like it sets in as the day goes on. You're like, man, my brain is tired.
People don't realize that. You know, when you finish a tournament at 1 in the morning, and you got to start the next day at say 12 or 1, you're like, oh, you've got 12 hours, cool. You get a good night's sleep, wake up, go to the gym, whatever. It's not that easy. You go back to your house or wherever you're staying, your hotel room. You lie in bed, and your mind just starts. You're seeing 3-bets and cards.
That was our entire job last year when Scott was staying at our house, Blumstein, before winning the main. He was staying at our house in the summer, and he'd come back, and we would just get food for everyone, hang out, and try not to talk about all the money and stuff. Like, every day is like, play with the puppy, and just like, let's watch a little TV. Maybe we'll go over a couple of hands that he had problems with, but then try to just be normal. So the next day when he'd wake up, he'd talk to Elliot Rowe and have like a mindset session and go in and feel like, okay, I got some sleep, and I didn't like lament over the mistakes I made during the day or whatever.
It's important. That's actually really good. You're a good friend. If I ever make a deep run, can I move in with you guys?
Sure.
just got a note from a friend. It says hashtag Ambien.
I mean, that's probably the easier way, but I don't recommend it. Can you imagine, though, like, if you take something and you're, like, in the morning you feel groggy and you're, like, at the table, you don't feel like you're really there?
Or,
like,
or how about you go back to sleep and the next thing you know, you've missed, like, 4 levels of the main event.
They're like, good news, you got 7th.
Right. Although we did have a player yesterday. If you guys watched the Twitch stream yesterday, it was pretty entertaining. We had a player yesterday, Patrick Trung, who... After day came back for day 2, he had chips, but he had food poisoning. So he missed the first. He missed the first like 4.5 levels.
That's terrible.
Got into the money though, comes back in, and promptly 3 hands later got eliminated. Oh. So the joke was, it was Jesse's friend, Jesse Sylvia's friend. The joke basically was, you know, your chips are doing better without you.
That's brutal. Oh my God, this is the nut comment about that. Jin Alley Legend says Ambien makes you racist.
Right, yeah.
So you don't want to take it. That's a good point.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
That was the best. I love when companies on Twitter are kind of funny. Like, you saw their response to the Roseanne thing. Like, that is not one of our side effects.
Wurzel played a hand. Wurzel picks it up. Wurzel on 8.5 million, somewhere in there. Or the 8.2 is already part of it. Felicio at 13. Margerson has been all over the place. He came back today with a pretty healthy stack, 13.8 million, before winning a monster pot where he made runner straight against Top Set. That vaulted him up to about 24 million. Then he lost set over set. He had a set of 6s on a king-queen 6 board, and somehow, some way, lost the absolute minimum. He made just a fantastic fold on the turn, saved himself a ton of chips, and has been able to chip back up to 18.6. Miles and Lou.
Way Too Frosty 5 says, what I would do to get in one of these tournaments. It is easier than it used to be. If you're in New Jersey or in Vegas, people get into these tournaments for like $5 sometimes. Some of the satellites they have on WSOP.com, they're running them every day. You can get in for almost nothing. And then you can play for $1 million.
Yeah. And by the way, if you're out of the country, you'll see our sponsor along the bottom of the board, 888 Poker. They run a ton of online satellites if you are in a place where you can play on 888 Poker.
Must be nice.
Yeah, right? Lou raising from the small blind. Miles looks like he's curious. I call. Pot is 2.35 million. That is a very raggy board. The kind of raggy board where I'd kind of like to see a continuation bet.
Yep.
Check, check. King high still the best hand. And that made it easier.
See if Miles will take the bait.
If I didn't know any better, I thought Timothy Miles was like a golfer sponsored by Nike.
Yeah.
Right? He looks like that.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Up-and-coming 26-year-old golfer. He's been fighting it on the Nike tour.
That's the kind of outfits I like on dudes. The like Nike little sporty stuff.
That's it?
Yeah. Not the Lululemon
by the way,
like $200 shirt or whatever.
It's going to be so awkward when I see you next and I'm like, I'm going to go out like tomorrow morning and buy like all Nike stuff. Samantha Abernathy.
And Rory. That's her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They're like such a stupidly good-looking couple.
They're just so cute.
Just a stupidly good-looking couple.
And
both
she's
of them.
wearing the Run Good tank.
Yeah, there you go. The Run Good. And I think she is here for Joel Wursel.